magic. Job interviews can be the most stressful part of the application process, but with a few key strategies, you can shine in the hot seat.
With us now, Nate Wade from U.S. Cellular. He is the Human Resources Manager, and Gary Taylor, South College's Job Placement Coordinator, with tips on how to stand out during your interview. Gentlemen,
Good morning.
We're glad you're here. We're going to start with you, Nate. Let's talk a little bit about how to find the right job and how to get the interview.
That's important. So one of the things that job searchers can do is use wireless devices such as the iPhone 6 or the Apple 6, and users can have access to U.S. Cellular high-quality network that's located throughout the country when they're looking for jobs, and whether either on the go or whether at home, they're able to look for those jobs regardless of the location. They're also able to use apps like the Indeed application, which they can download from the App Store or the Google Store, which is a very great app that smartphone users can use because they can search for millions of jobs from thousands of websites for one central location, which makes the Indeed app a very good app to use. They also can use local resources such as the Knoxville Area Urban League, which help people find jobs and also the skill sets that's needed for those jobs. And fortunately, I'm able to participate and help in the training, so where people can come and receive the skill sets that they need to make themselves better and more marketable when applying for those jobs.
It is amazing all the work the Urban League does to help people get jobs. I mean, really, it's so useful.
Yes, it's very helpful because we're able to help people learn how to deal with customers either in person or over the phone, and also we're able to help them provide with resume writing tips as well as key tips for when they're doing the job interviews.
That's nice you do
When
that.
you get that phone call, say you've applied to several places and you get a phone call from a company, what should you say on the phone? How do you handle that?
Well, first of all, it's most important to be able to answer that call whenever a recruiter call or a human resource manager calls you. So you want to be able to be polite and be respectful when you answer the call, but if you're at work or if you're out on the go and you're unable to answer the call, let it go right to your voicemail. And then you want to make sure in your voicemail that it's very professional, no distraction in the background or no music, or if you have a ringtone, make sure it's a professional ringtone when people answer the phone.
All right.
Good idea.
Okay. Gary, let's talk about once you land the interview, some of the things you should think about when you're going in for the meeting.
Well, even in the beginning, you need to do research on the company. You need to know as much as you can about it. Again, as Nate was saying, go to their website, get to know a lot about their mission, get to know their goals, and also take a look at the job description. And within your own experience and your own skills and your own education, that's how you're going to be zeroing in on the position itself. And practice, practice, practice. One thing I want you to do, and I think you need to do, is practice your interview skills. At South College, I have a chance to work with our students in actually doing that, doing a mock interview. They're answering the questions as if they're actually in the location, at least doing that. There are three major questions that they need to answer. First is, tell me about yourself. And it's not really related to their personal life, it's more professional. And then also, what are your strengths? What are your major strengths as it relates to the job itself? And also, why should I hire you? When you look at those three questions, they really are the same, but they're decorated in a direction that you need to be able to sell yourself and also your experience. And recognize, at least, first and foremost, one of the things that you're going to do, your first impressions are made only within 4 seconds, and your final impressions are made within 30 seconds. The rest of the interview is basically building on the first impressions that you've made and how you can be successful and also help the company.
Give them a firm handshake.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's one big one.
How
to me.
important is the way you dress and the way your resume comes across the desk?
You need to have respect for the job that you're interviewing for. You also need to have a perception that this is a very important part of my life. No matter what job it is, no matter what direction that you're going, whatever career that you're choosing, you've got to be professional looking all the way through. Your resume has to be top-notch. You need to take a look at it. Also at the same time, you need to review and tweak it as you go. With your experience, you also need to be updating that as it goes too. And it's got to be sharp, and it's got to be focused directly on the job itself.
All right, so be specific about what skills you bring for that particular job.
Yes, ma'am, you must.
So many things to think about when it relates to jobs, and so many people still looking. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.